Good morning, all. You're listening to 90.3 WMSC, Upper Montclair, New Jersey. This is the Morning Buzz, the Tuesday edition of the Morning Buzz here on February 16th, 2021. It's a nice, I guess, icy and cold day. It's not really warm and sunny like I always hope it will be when I wake up, but it's not. But we're here anyway to provide some awesome news and entertainment stories for you. And I am, of course, Amanda Marino, and I am joined with my lovely co host.
Caitlin Oistisaba.
Hi, Caitlin. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing great, doing great. And then, of course, we always have our lovely news contributor.
Hello, guys. How are you? I am Issa Winek.
Hi, Isa. How are you today?
Oh, very well. Thank you very much. A little icy and cold, but it's fine.
Yeah, I think that's the consensus for this morning. And it's not summer yet, even though I will continue wearing tank tops in the middle of winter and continue to pretend like it's summer. And then, of course, we have our amazing sportscaster with us.
Yo, I'm Ben,
That was an intro.
and I can't. I still, if it's Morning Buzz, it's the same as usual since I've ever been on Morning Buzz. I've woke up 10 minutes ago, rolled into studio, or I rolled onto Zoom, and gonna say some news with with a morning voice when it's not even like fully there yet. Like you're like, that's not how he normally sounds.
Well, okay, that's a way to intro the show from Ben. He didn't know. No offense, Ben, but none of the listeners or watchers on Facebook needed to know that you just woke up 10 minutes ago.
Listen, if we're gonna be relatable, it's about time we just really get real relatable.
Got you, got you. Well, we have a lovely show for you all prepared. Issa, why don't you kick it off with your newscast for us, though, to get us going?
Of course, yes. So for today, New Jersey's Governor Murphy has imposed a number of new road restrictions due to the upcoming ice storm starting and going throughout this week. That actually started this morning, uh, last night up to this morning around 10 a.m. being the most prominent later on. Portions of New Jersey, central Jersey, and northeastern Pennsylvania are expected to be hit by significant ice storms that are said to cause a few power outages, fallen trees, much icing, frost, and just this cold winter bitter weather. Governor Murphy urges that citizens should avoid travel if possible and remain cautious of outdoor conditions as it can get a little dangerous for someone even just walking down the street. So we should all just be careful, especially today going on through the weeks. We don't know where exactly will the storm be going, but just to stay safe and to stay healthy throughout this time because we don't want to catch a cold outside. Uh, First, today's US news. Since January, it was reported that throughout the United States, the coronavirus cases for COVID-19 have been dropping. There are about 83,321 reported new cases that came on this Saturday, but the first time since November 2nd, the country has reported had one less case every second, which sounds really nice to hear, knowing that like slowly we are getting better. On Sunday, Johns Hopkins University data shows that the pace has slowed further, even to 64,938 cases a day, which is really good news. Cases are generally reported to have slowed down over the weekends, which we are not aware why, but the rate at which it is reported that they have dropped more than half since last month's peak. Last month we had in January a small peak come up, but now recently it is decreasing again. So that is also quite good news to hear. Also, further in US news, something new and a little strange. We are tracking a current snowstorm in the central slash southern portion of the United States throughout Texas and Minnesota, which were both hit by a massive blow of Arctic air and the Arctic weather that led to a winter shock for many unprepared residents of that area. Being used to warmer, maybe slightly chilly or uncomfortable weather, it was reported that in I would say the Dallas-Fort Worth National Airport, that they picked up about 4 inches of snow due to the ice storms and the Arctic blows they were hit by. Parts of Austin and San Antonio also have been seen to receive about 4 to 5 inches of snow. Icy roads are leading to accidents, road closures, people getting storm warnings in their towns and areas. There were millions of people left without power, and record of the cold continues to set in. On February 13th, temperatures are said to come down even as low as -50 Fahrenheit. So all the best to those people. Let's just hope everyone stays warm, everything is okay, because that does sound very strange, crazy. And as far as Montclair State University news goes, it was reported in the Montclarian that the latest COVID-19 safety regulations for Montclair State University took a strict toll for resident students, sparing all the commuting students much trouble, but at the same time really weighing down on people who live on campus. The Montclair State University said in its announcements, actually, as all of us students receive letters, that it recommends that even students who usually commute should carefully consider the advantages of living on campus during the spring semester, as there will be more stricter rules enforced, with constant monitoring of proper mask wearing, social distancing, frequent HOC checks, like we do to make sure just like everyone's healthy, to COVID tests. Resident students are kept under harsh regulations to prevent the spread of the disease. And even though now it's winter and everyone is kind of sitting inside, there's maybe really not much happening as we would on campus before Corona. Hopes of warmer weather will bring university plans to utilize the outdoors for students with activities and on-campus courses outside. So that will hopefully really break all this pandemic fatigue for us. Currently in Montclair, it is cloudy with a chance of rain with a temperature at about 39 degrees Fahrenheit. Today we'll have about a high of 49 degrees and a low of 19 degrees with a humidity at about 90% and a 60 to 70% chance of rain throughout the day. Today, it is partially cloudy outside. We might receive some rain, but we are sure to have a sunset at about 5:33 p.m. Thank you very much. I'm Isa Wanek from 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair, and that was my newscast.
Thank you, Isa. That was a great
New
newscast.
rule, Amanda. I'm going to say this right now. I am not following that up. That was beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
That was so beautiful. I was like, oh my God. And she's going to be like, all right, now, Ben. I'm like, yo, bro, what's up? Sports. First of all, I thought she was going to say Claudia the chance of meatballs for a second. I was getting real excited for that. And she was like, because she was so articulate and she was taking her time with every word. So she's like, cloudy with the chance. And I'm like, please say meatballs. Please say meatballs.
Next time I'm going to say that because that sounds just fun to say. Why not?
Only Ben would be thinking she would say cloudy with a chance of meatballs. Because I think it's kicking in that he just woke up and he's...
all the Ben humor is just like regenerating from yesterday.
Before we get into the Ben's sportscast, I was just curious because Isa was talking about the new rules that are on campus, and I know I have a few of you on here that actually do live on campus. Can you give me your thoughts about these new rules?
Well, I mean, I live on campus, and yesterday we got an email about signing up for like weekly testing. It's every other week, and we're all separated into these little groups to get tested. And I think it's good that they're doing that because they didn't do it last semester. So I think it just gives everybody more peace of mind. Although it does worry me because I just don't trust the public, and I feel like since they're going to be testing us more frequently, that more people might kind of take advantage of it and maybe go out more because they know like, oh, I'm getting tested, so it's okay if I go out and do something.
That's definitely an interesting thought to think about. And I guess I was curious why they weren't actually doing it last semester, I guess, with that, because I know for the arts programs they always have been, and I've been getting tested regularly on campus now because, you know, we're in high contact classes and stuff. So, but that was just, I feel like something simple that all resident students should have been able to do. I mean, that they could have provided, but maybe that's just me, but I don't know.
No, yeah, definitely. It started with special programs. Like my roommate got tested last semester too because she was in music, but now it's all residents. So
gotcha.
I just don't want them to like. I feel like some of the ideas are a little bit like crazy in the form of they have you take a temperature thing. on the side with your wrist that makes you look like you're about to die because it says you're 68 degrees. I'm like, well, I'm dead.
Yeah, that's what I've never
Like,
understood too. Because now they have all these, for anyone that doesn't know and doesn't attend Montclair or maybe is a recent grad, so they're now like checking your temperatures and you have to put your wrist up to the monitor or whatever to like have it read your temperature. But like the amount of times I've now done that and it's been like below 90 degrees because it's cold out, I'm just like, cool, I'm dead. And that's great.
Yeah,
good thing to know the heart's about to stop soon.
Yeah. And I guess
I to say it doesn't sound entirely accurate. Like to the forehead, I understand, but like to the wrist, like would this?
Yeah,
really be
and
easy
I just didn't understand that. And I guess the other thing was I have a few friends that dorm on campus, and there was one night that there was a fire alarm that went off, and the fire alarm went off, and they like made them get like all checked when they got back, and they're like, "Cool, we were just outside in the freezing cold with no coat on for like half hour, 40 minutes. Our temperature is not going to be accurate."
First of all, I mean, I know you have to be COVID safe, but you just threw a bunch of people outside for a half hour. You're gonna make them all wait in line. Some of them will probably still be outside just so they can, just so they're like take the 10-minute thing that waits.
I found out that they stopped
your temperature.
Yeah, the friends that I knew that happened to, they eventually stopped because they realized nobody was actually like coming back like with an accurate temperature. But I mean, like, it just wasted a bunch of time. And especially because the other thing was a lot of them, because it was a frantic moment, a lot of them didn't actually like grab their masks too because they were like running out. So like it was even, they were just outside in the cold, no mask, no nothing, and it was just creating a worse environment basically. So I don't know.
No, I mean, honestly, the fire drills are so stressful.
On fire, I'm not going to be considering, oh, gotta grab my mask.
But like the staff and everything's like yelling at you. They're like 6 feet apart. Have your mask on, and everybody's like, it's freezing out. Like we're not thinking about.
It sounds almost chaotic. Like so sci-fi dystopian that everyone gets checked, everyone's outside. Oh my, really wishing you guys like all the best out there. And I also wanted to ask, just in case, just to pose this question. I mean, I understand like fire drills, safety, that's all necessary on campus. But what if, let's say you are on campus and you are put under quarantine and you're not allowed to leave your room? Like, what should you do then if there's a fire drill?
I would say that the only good thing with that is I know they quarantine people off into separate buildings. So the idea would be if you get COVID and you're in one of those separate buildings and there's a fire drill, I would say like you would be outside and you'd be with the people that are in your building that also have COVID already, if that makes any sense. And plus then you're outside. But currently today, Carly Campbell is actually board hopping for us, and she wants to just chime in real quick and add her 2 cents on living on campus too. So Carly?
Yeah, hi. Sorry, it took me forever to actually speak. I just wanted to make sure that like everyone was okay with me just like coming on.
Knitting.
Yes, I'm knitting, Ben.
Is this crochet or is this knit?
It's knitting. Oh my god. There's a difference, and I will probably have to write like a 2 million word essay explaining the difference. But yes, I'm knitting for those who are not watching on our Facebook Live. So
random.
To clarify a couple things, first and foremost, hi, I'm Carly. Second, the piece that Issa mentioned before, I actually wrote that for the Montclarian. So thank you, Issa, for referencing my reporting. It actually made my day. But like the one thing that when you mentioned like people quarantining separate buildings, no, that is false. I'm so sorry to call you out like that.
No, well, okay, because so like on the website they technically publicize that, and I know people like technically. I knew what halls it was, Bone and something else, one of the other halls that they were specifically quarantining off for people. So I don't know if they stopped doing that or like what the.
I don't think that they've done that. I can try to ask people that have been quarantined, if possible, to verify that, but I've been quarantined twice, and both of them I have been in Freeman Hall, which is my current hall of residence.
So, that's weird.
Yeah, they just put you, it depends, because the first time I got put on the first floor of Freeman, if you were around last semester when I was a host for the Morning Buzz, you might have remembered I had a series, like I had one episode that I was in a different location than my usual place in the studio. I was in a quarantine room. There's a lot of stuff that they haven't done per se when it comes to quarantining, and like I mentioned before in that article, there's still a lot of disparity that they have yet to really address.
Interesting. Yeah. And especially because they've been publicizing that online that people are quarantined differently. So that's interesting for sure.
Even if you're quarantining, unless you are literally positive for corona, like I'm saying this outright, you have to go to like Sam's Place in person to pick up Grubhub orders. So even if
Which
you're
doesn't really help the case of if you are positive, then it's that's wild. I'm sorry that
It's
information
fine.
was not correct from the Montclair website.
It's
Oh, dear.
fine. Like journalists are like, shout out to my fellow people on the Montclarian and my fellow WMSC people that are living on campus. Like you're doing the best where you can. But yeah.
Anyway, before it gets too late, no, you're good. Before it gets too late in the broadcast, because I keep pushing Ben back, but it was just because I wanted to chime in with what was added to the newscast.
I just have a quick question for Carly, real quick. Carly,
What's up?
odds you knit me a hat, a beanie.
Yes, I can knit you a hat. Just send me the info through Discord. I'd be more than happy to.
Oh, I would love that. I don't even care what it looks like, just a beanie. It could straight up have any color. It does not matter.
Oh, good, because I have a limited selection of colors, so that helps a lot.
Yeah, just whatever you want.
All right.
Anyways, I'll let them take that conversation off of Facebook and
no, I put it on air, so then she feels more obligated.
Okay, all right. Well, Ben, while you're talking, why don't you hit us with that sportscast?
All right. So if you're a Philly fan, that stinks. Because if you're a Philly fan, your 76ers lost to the...
Hold up. Ben?
Here.
You're not coming into the sport... I'm sorry to interrupt, but you're not coming into the sportscast trashing Philly.
Oh, yeah. First of all, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Right. That's exactly why. Look at Philly fans. They always get so mad.
No one talks...
You guys are just the definition of I took that personally.
No one talks trash about Philly and gets away with it. Only Philly fans can talk trash about Philly and get away with it. Okay,
Well, apparently the Jazz can talk trash about Philly because they just smacked the 76ers 134 to 123. So unfortunate if you're a Philly fan, but it's a good night if you're a New York fan because the Knicks won 123 to 112 against the Hawks. And the Brooklyn Nets won 136 to 125 against the Kings. So if you're a New York fan, Carly, it was a great night. But if you're a Philly fan, Carly, it was a bad night. But if you that got off the rails already. It's been 5 seconds. But if you're looking forward to tomorrow's games, in the NBA, you got the Nets going over to Phoenix to face the Suns, and that'll be at 10:30. It's going to be a late game. And if you are a hockey fan, the Islanders will be playing at 7 p.m. and the Devils will go and face the Rangers at 7 p.m. as well. So, of course, I get Tuesday, so there's not much going on in sports, but if Montclair has basketball games up this coming Friday and Saturday, that will be broadcasted by WMSC. So it's about it for sports. It's Tuesday. You got me the most barren day for sports.
I'm sorry, Ben.
Right, it's after Monday. You gave me after Monday, and then
Ben,
come back on Wednesday.
Ben, I hate to tell you this. You applied very last minute to work on the Buzz, and this is what we had left.
You got a good point.
You applied after the deadline.
It's the most me thing ever.
Anyway, now that it took us about 20 minutes to even get into the first story,
we have gone off the rails.
Apparently, I'm gonna blame it on Ben for not being able to wake up early.
The only person that's been coordinated is Issa. She's so steady with the way she speaks and so on point. It makes us seem like we're just 2-year-olds. They're like, radio.
Hey, speak for yourself.
Well, I am a 2-year-old that says radio.
Well, don't worry, you guys. Everyone has their own personality, their own flair, and I respect that. Don't worry about it. Don't make yourself lower than you are. Everyone's amazing here. Don't worry.
Everyone has their own personality.
Their own uniqueness and flair.
It's like a direct line of just a voice, and it's on par, and it's not. It's very impressive.
Anyway, we're gonna get started with our first story 20 minutes in now. So first story for the day is the World Health Organization actually authorized the AstraZeneca COVID vaccine for emergency use. Guys, I'm excited. That means another vaccine is on its way, and I am so thrilled to hear this news. So the World Health Organization has granted an emergency authorization for the AstraZeneca coronavirus vaccine, a move that should allow the UN's agency partnership to ship millions of doses to countries as part of a UN-packed program to tame the pandemic. So the AstraZeneca vaccine has already been authorized in more than 50 countries, and it is cheaper and easier to handle than the Pfizer BioNTech vaccine, which is really exciting to hear. I mean, there's still 2 doses of this vaccine, but you don't have to store it in like those super cold temperatures, which means they won't expire as fast and as badly, which is great. So what do you guys think about this? This is awesome news.
Oh dear.
I mean,
Well,
it's exciting. It's exciting because like I know it says here too, like we don't have developing countries don't have access to the deep cold storage that the other vaccines require. So in that perspective, it's really awesome. But it's interesting to me because I know it says that it's 63% effective and you need 2 doses, which is less than the Johnson & Johnson one, which is only 1 dose.
But we've said on this buzz before, and we've talked about this, most like flu shots aren't even like, they're like 50-60% effective. So we've talked about that. The fact that Moderna and Pfizer was that high up to begin with was already like extremely amazing. But what I will say is, see, to me, this is kind of in a weird position though, because do you now want to take this one to get it faster, or do you want to just wait for the other ones because now you're like, cool, like I don't want to have one that is less effective if I know the other ones are more effective, if you think about it that way. But also, we haven't heard yet about if this is more protective against the variants that are now out there than that. So there's a lot to think about with that. Issa, do you have any thoughts with this?
I must say that just like hearing that, it's a positive development to know that they have another available vaccine that could be rolled out much more quickly than the other ones, which everyone is waiting for and then many people around the world are anxious about. So this is a good sign that they're here. However, because it's a lower percentage, I feel that it's also it's a big debate because either you could get this and at least be partially safe now, or you could wait it out under quarantine circumstances, social distancing, mask wearing, and just get the ones that are more effective. And it's really up to the person. How urgent do they feel that that they should get the vaccine? But I feel this is good news.
For sure.
Yeah, and especially that it's for developing countries that don't really even have access to those primary vaccines that we're still all waiting for. So I would say this is good news, and for those people, especially coming from those countries, like this is a really, really good way to go. Like it's faster, maybe not as effective as the other ones, but it's really good to hear.
I'd be really curious to see how much this would improve, like how our supply comes in, and as well as I know that they just released more doses to the US and such from under the Biden administration and stuff like that. So I'm curious to see kind of like what comes with that. I know it is, if any of you have had the struggle yet to like look for vaccines, it's a struggle. I'm part of a Twitter page that's called Vax Updates, which actually sends notifications every time a portal in New Jersey opens. And so I have it. I know both me and Lewis have it, and we've talked about it on the Buzz before, but we set it so you get updates every time they post. And so you get the notification like, oh, CVS just posted these appointments or whatever. But like you go in and like, I'll tell you, I'll go in a minute later, they're all gone. Like 20,000 doses just gone. Like in like a minute. It's like that's how fast, or like appointments anyway, and then that's how honestly,
I feel like I'm just not expecting to get the vaccine anytime soon. Like I want it, but I know I'm just gonna have to wait.
It's gonna take a little bit because but maybe it'll be a little faster. We're seeing a lot more places come on board to be sending out the vaccine or providing it for people, and obviously with this new vaccine coming out, I mean, I feel like we're only around the corner for Johnson & Johnson as well, which, again, we look at that. We were talking about that on the Buzz a few weeks ago. Johnson & Johnson was like 85%, I think it was like 80 somewhere. And that's like a big difference between this and that, especially when you still have to get 2 doses for this one. So just interesting stuff that's coming out. Ben, do you have any thoughts? I know you're still here.
My thing is just I find it to be for people like that are our age. I feel like that they should really make sure that they're getting the right people the vaccine, because it's like it said that the schedule points went crazy. I don't know. I don't like how some people. I feel like at the end of the day, I feel like the people that need it the most should still keep getting it, and then it should be because, like, for example, like a person like I'm not gonna speak for any of you guys. I don't know, but dangerous. I have no dangerous things that would happen if I get the virus. Like the odds of anything bad happening are not that, are like I'm pretty well off, so I'm not gonna even try to get it. I'm gonna get the people that need it more. Like I would rather have a 50-year-old person that has lupus get it than me, because that's just so it's weird. It's just I feel like they should really monitor who's getting it sometimes.
They really should, because I know I've seen so many people in my feed and stuff get it, and I'm like, and again, I don't know what their stories are and what they have or anything, but like I'm like, are they lying? Because like a lot of people I know have lied, and we've talked about this here on many shows of the Buzz that people are lying to get their vaccine, and they're not really checking any identification or anything. I mean, like my mom just got her 2nd dose. Now, she granted has health issues why she was able to get it, but they never checked anything. So if she was hypothetically like lying, like they didn't look. They didn't check anything, but she wasn't, and she took her turn like she was supposed to. But I don't know, like I'm still waiting, because I know personally I'm an essential worker. I do work at a grocery store, and I do work regularly, and I've gotten a message from my company that's like, okay, if you could get the option to get the vaccine, here's the letter you could show to show you proof that you work. But other than that, I don't have any access any quicker or anything, and it's because we're still waiting for that pool of people to be opened. So yeah,
I like that they gave you a letter to show.
I didn't even know that.
Check.
Caitlin, I literally didn't even know until yesterday. I went into my app because I was curious if there was any developments of like maybe they would be providing. So for anybody that doesn't know, I work for Amazon. I work at Whole Foods. So for me, I got like a notification in the app. It's like, oh, here's your code, and says, oh, here I work at Whole Foods. Here is like a little sheet that says like, please give this person one if they need it or whatever. So, but they didn't give us any other information. That's really just good. That.
Yeah, it's really good that they give you that's proof, because it shows, yeah, you're an essential worker and you have priority for the vaccine. Like I find that because there's such a demand and many people are desperate, it's still important to remember, but many people forget that there's people who need to be prioritized for this vaccine, people who are more at risk, like the elderly, like essential workers, like health workers. And this is very important because they're out there risking more the fact of getting COVID, of getting even sick on their own, to work to help to serve our country, to keep us running and moving, and they need the vaccine, while there are normal people who could easily quarantine like that, who just want the vaccine for safety purposes. So I feel it's important for all of us to remember that, like, in order to make this work properly, we gotta kind of wait for our turn, stay patient and stay focused, and kind of help each other out, teamwork in this. Like they say that we're alone in this together.
Yeah, that's very accurate. And I honestly have a lot more hope than I did, I feel like, a few months ago, because I'm seeing with all these vaccines coming out now, and I'm hearing basically by like early summer, we could be like very much in a good place. And I'm like, okay, cool. That makes me happy. I could feel like I can go out and be normal. And also the worst part about the weather being so bad, it's like you can't even just go outside and just be like, okay, I can see my friends from a socially distanced manner or anything like that. It's like, so I feel like with all these vaccines rolling out all throughout the winter and stuff, maybe we will see a brighter path pretty soon, which will be my segue to the next story, which found this yesterday in the New York Times, and I saw the title and I was like, wow, I feel like every one of the people I have on the Buzz is going to disagree with this next topic, but I think it's an interesting thing to bring up. So this is an opinion piece from the New York Times, and the title being, I actually like teaching over Zoom. So this teacher kind of went into details in her opinion of like why she thinks Zoom is a better option than like teaching in person. So she says, multimedia lectures work easily and even better on Zoom. I no longer have to memorize students' names. Their names are listed underneath their faces. And on Zoom, the students get a close-up of the photos and video clips. And with the lectures automatically recorded, they could review them, or if they miss a lecture, listen to them later. Instead, I have asked a half dozen students to participate in student panels for each lectures. I call on them and ask questions throughout the lecture, which means the class doesn't have to listen to just me all the time. It turns out students are much less shy speaking on video when they might be, or as they might be in a live audience setting. Less human warmth, but less stage fright. Student chat is also fun now. I wouldn't want students chatting in a live class, but I see their occasional exclamations in the chat window as when one is amazed in something that is discussed in the class. So this is just a little bit, obviously the piece is very long, but I was taking out some pieces from that of why she thinks this is better. And now as students, we obviously have a different point of view on this. We aren't teaching, but we are going to class on Zoom. And I could say right here, I don't like Zoom University. I hate all of it, don't like it, but I can see where this teacher is coming from on some of these points of, sometimes class sizes could be bigger and more people can take advantage of a course, because she mentioned that in the article as well. And the fact that you could show more clips and multimedia presentations easily, you could record them easily. But I don't know. I don't think this is necessarily advantage. I feel like you lose so much of that human interaction in a classroom. And also, I'm not really a fan of the fact that she said I don't have to memorize kids' names, because I feel like that becomes like a huge advantage of being with the teacher. You have more of a connection with the teacher, because otherwise you're just sitting in a class and it's like, cool, like this teacher doesn't know who I am.
Yeah, that stood out to me too when she said that. I was like, well, that's kind of lazy. And I know students tend to be lazier on Zoom anyway, but like the teacher too, like what?
Yeah.
That's kind of weird.
I didn't like that at all. Like I felt like I was like, does no teacher know my name? I mean, like, obviously it's a little bit of a different story for us because a lot of our class sizes are still kind of the same and teachers are memorizing it, at least for what I know of, but I don't know. What do you guys, Isa, Ben, what do you guys think about this?
Well, I would have to say that it definitely is different, and I definitely miss going to class and having that human, just like person to person interaction. It just feels completely different when I would walk into each class and just go in there and just experience the room on its own. Really, I could focus. I know I wouldn't be distracted by anything. Studying from home is definitely a challenge when you're not in person. It's just everything is on your computer and you're almost yeah, like I said, I miss being with that, those people, in the room. But I would say, looking from the convenient perspective, even though I really liked it, it also saves the hassle of having to go to campus, commute, and everything. So I would say, while I'm not the biggest fan, it does have some advantages. So I would say it's not necessarily harder or worse, but just different, just a different modality to get used to. And I see why would teachers also try to look on the positive side of that, because while we all diss Zoom so much because it's just not what we're used to, it does have some advantages, and I feel it's good to look on the bright side of it once in a while.
For sure. And I think as we start to come out of this, I think we're going to start to see kind of a blend of the two that we're seeing now, a blend of, the in-person and the online, because why ever in the future, because I know she also mentions in this article that would she ever have to go sit in her office for office hours? You could do that online. You don't need to be in person usually for office hours unless it's a specific reason, and then otherwise you could set up an appointment for that. But because she mentions in the article, she also there's some green benefits, environmental benefits, that she could literally just show up on a Zoom call instead of driving an hour to school to sit in an office where nobody's going to show up. So that's the other thing. So I feel kind of going forward, we're going to see a blend of this. I feel at times when there is going to be a snowstorm, everything will just go virtual. And we've seen that this year where everybody's just kind of gone virtual for everything and things like that. So I don't know. I feel we're going to just kind of see a blend of this. That I don't really think Zoom's going away anytime soon, and especially in a classroom setting. So yeah, I mean, any other
it's definitely
thoughts?
not. It's not going away, because even if there's anything we've learned, it's how much you can do virtually. Like even
Yeah.
your job.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people are working from home, and that's something that I mean, my mom enjoys working from home, and I don't know what she's gonna do when that changes, but
I feel like I said, there's like benefits and there's not benefits. Like you miss that, nobody wants to be just hanging out in a Zoom call and just chilling. Everyone's just like, all right, let's get this done, what we need to, the meeting or the class, and then everyone just goes. It's weird. I'm currently working as well as an internship. Now all of my internships now, and I'm about to graduate, have been virtual. I've never had an in-person office experience now, and it's so wild. And yeah, it's great. I love the experience, but we actually have to set up other times to just hang out on Zoom with the other people that are interns and the other people part of the company, because when you sit in on meetings or whatever, no one wants to sit on a Zoom call. No one's just going to sit there with you like you would in an office. So
yeah.
it's
harder for like
world.
connections, networking,
Mhm.
stuff like that. Like social interactions are a lot harder.
Yeah,
For
it definitely
sure.
it definitely has its like pros and cons at the same time. So, like I said, like it's just a whole different ballpark when it comes to just like work experience, human interaction, environment, and I feel like yeah, it's not going away. Hopefully, by the end of the pandemic, we could have these in-person things once again. But I feel coming back from Zoom, we have also learned so much what we can put on virtually, and we could save so much time commuting just to, let's say, have a meeting, have office hours, or communicate with someone. It's just it's a new development that kind of is pushing our society in, I would say, a more technical, innovative way.
Well, and even still with the classroom setting thing, I think you look at it, if someone's sick, I could see it being that like someone just always has like a laptop going with the class running. And so that like if someone is sick or can't make it for whatever reason, they won't tell them to come to class, because we've seen that change in the work and school environment. It's like, you're sick, like stay home, don't come near, even if it's just like you have a light stomach ache or whatever, you have like a light cough, whatever, like don't come in. So I feel like that's going to be the new thing going forward too, that like maybe, we actually like won't see this element go away. And as much as I would love Zoom University to be like, bye, I mean, it's helped in some ways. So
It's going to be kind of like the masks, like but the difference is we've had masks before. Like if you go to different countries, people were wearing masks.
oh yeah, for
And
sure.
like people like, so if you go to other countries, they're like, you guys are annoyed about the masks.
Well, I mean, like look at Australia.
The Zoom thing is what's going to be annoying at the end is when this is all over. What's going to be ridiculous is that people don't like change.
Mhm.
And because people are used to this, it's going to be difficult for people to go back out of it, because you're not even getting forced to do it.
Yeah.
It's not like you're being forced to go back to normal. You were forced to go to Zoom. The world was forced to do this. But now, because this is the new norm, you're not forced. I think it's going to take a lot of people a lot of time, because the laziness is fun. Like the second people tell me to start putting on my camera, I was miserable, because I would straight up just like be laying down, not looking at my screen. I was listening, but when you're just like, all right, she's just talking to a monitor. I'm going to just like, I'm looking at the stars, like I'm making breakfast, like I'm still listening, but like you could do things now, like now that they told me to put a camera on, I'm self-conscious, but self-conscious to move. But but as a whole, people love that. People love that idea, and it's like even when people are going to start saying go back to normal, they're going to still want to be like that. So change is going to be the biggest thing that a lot of people are not going to want to do. And I agree with Amanda there. There's no such thing as a snow day anymore.
Oh yeah, we've discussed that before.
We all left like high school and middle school at the right time, guys, because the clutch snow days are no longer there.
Well, I've actually touched on this on shows before, that my high school never actually had snow days, really. I think maybe we had one ever, like because they had a very virtual element. We had laptops, we had a lot of these college applications like Blackboard and stuff. And so anytime we'd have a snow day, they'd be like, okay, everything's online, so we'll see you there. Here's all the more work than you would have had in class to do.
Exactly.
Oh, dear.
And then like by senior year, my senior year, people got so annoyed, which I don't blame them because we never really had like a day off, and it was always more work than we would have done in class. People started actually complaining, and we got it taken away about senior year. But now they're back to that because, of course, coronavirus. So, Ben, did you not like the idea in this article that the fact that the woman never even memorized kids' names? They didn't even have to do any of that anymore.
I can't speak to that because I can't remember anyone's name to save my life. I'm one of those people that like I started working at Domino's when COVID started because my job had to shut down because of COVID. So I started working at Domino's. I worked there for a month and a half. And I only knew one of my 5 bosses' names.
Are you
There were
serious?
5 managers. I knew one manager name. And I said, yo, what's up, dude? What's up, girl? What's up, madam? Like I would just say pronouns and not pronouns, but I'd just say anything but their name. And then the funniest thing ever is because they would go, yo, what's up, sir? What's up, guy? What's up, DJ? What's they're like, and the best part is no one ever knew. And then I finally started realizing what their names are. It took me forever to know the SMT at WMSC's names.
Are you serious?
Took me forever. I would.
Wow.
It's like I'm not gonna lie, Amanda. It took me about 2 weeks to remember your name, and we were on Zoom.
That's so not true. You know it's not because literally we were friends on social media and you've literally commented on things, but you knew my name before we got entered.
Oh,
the
I
Zoom
didn't.
call.
No, that one wasn't a joke. But
Okay,
it is
but
true.
okay, well, I'll do a quick test for you. How many teachers do you remember from last semester?
All right. Oh, cool. Whew. This isn't good. I know I had a Trojan War teacher. He was there. I had hold on, give me a second. If I can even remember the classes I took. I took. Oh my gosh! Now I'm on the spot. You know when you're on the spot and you're like, oh no.
He can't even remember the classes he took, which kind of alarms me. But anyway.
Nope, I don't know his name. I know the class I took. I took Theorizing Calm, and he was some guy with glasses.
Can I ask, was it Mr. Hugh Carnot? Because I know he has glasses.
Yes.
Oh,
That's what I was
When
gonna say.
Issa literally knows your teachers better than the person that actually took
No,
I
I know because I have him now. That's why.
Oh, okay.
Not that many people teach that class either, though.
I had a religion teacher that Lewis also had, so ask him for his name. I really don't know it. I don't know. I know he talked like this. He talked a lot like this, like very.
Okay, we're gonna get off the story before Ben offends a teacher that's at FSU.
Oh, he was very articulate and very manly, and I was like, oh. I was like, ooh. I was like, that's a way to wake up in the morning.
Okay, well, anyways, we're gonna take a quick break before we come back with some other odd stories that Caitlin found for us that we will be discussing for the rest of the show. So we're gonna just take a quick break, but if you're interested in sticking around, stick around here at 90.3 WMSC, Upper Montclair, New Jersey.
Okay, I take that back, but we're still pretty cool.
Hey everyone, let's all stop what we're doing and take a moment. You see, every moment can be kind of special. But they can be loud moments, goofy moments, dorky moments, it doesn't matter. Because every time dads like us take a moment like that to spend with our kids, well, it's pretty momentous. So let's take a moment to make a moment. Call 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
And single was, I never. Looking for the real MSU Redhawks experience all year long? Look no further. WMSC has all your Redhawks information, ranging from live play-by-plays, news updates, recaps, and more. Never miss out on the Red Hawks with 90.3 WMSC. Let's go, Red Hawks.
Hi, my name is Jake Getz, and I'm the host of The Broken Record. It's a brand new show here on 90.3 WMSC. It's a show where I interview artists and learn more about their craft and what inspires them. I'll be interviewing filmmakers and photographers, singers and songwriters, and poets and painters. It'll be really fun. I got some really cool people coming on. I am somewhat of an artist myself, and my hope is that I can learn from others who are doing some really cool stuff. If you'd like to join me on this fun learning experience, you can tune into The Broken Record on Wednesdays at 9 in the morning or on Fridays at 5 in the evening. I'd really like to have you here.
Hold on, let's go dancing. But I can't move. Look who's laughing. You again, you again, you again.
And we're back here at 90.3 WMSC, Upper Montclair, New Jersey. If you're just tuning in, this is the Morning Buzz, the Tuesday edition. I am your host, Amanda Marino. I'm also with
Caitlin Aristizaba.
and our lovely newscaster and our sportscasters.
Hello, I am Issa Winek.
Yo, I'm Ben.
He's so cool, he can't even give us his last name.
Oh yeah, I'm just so cool. I go on a first name basis.
Gotcha. Well, so we're planning the script out. Caitlin was finding some interesting yet irrelevant news, I guess, that's happening currently. So Caitlin, why don't you take over this next story?
Yes, it was exciting. Okay, I read this and it just made me happy. And okay, I don't know how you guys feel about pickles, but I love pickles. Like, it's literally an obsession. I could eat pickles right out of the jar. But anyway. Okay, you know what, Ben? Just listen. Okay, so this is from NJ.com, and it says viral New Jersey sandwich shop that swaps pickles for bread is opening a second location. I've never heard of this place. I don't even know the first location. I only know the part of Jersey that I grew up in, so I don't even know where this is. But it says a new sandwich shop is coming to South Jersey, and it's kind of a big deal. Elsie's Pickles, the viral deli known for putting sandwiches not on bread, but rather oh my god, but rather on giant hollowed out pickles, has announced its second location. So instead of using bread, they make sandwiches on pickles, and I think that's amazing.
Boo.
That is strange but interesting at the same time. My question is, wouldn't that, like, as a sandwich, wouldn't that be a little watery? Like, bread itself, like it like you could put butter on it and it just, I would say, absorbs sometimes like the moisture if you have like a tomato or some cucumbers on a sandwich. But a pickle itself, like, wouldn't they have to be dry in order for them not to make the sandwich too, like, just basically watery for you, or just like uncomfortable to eat, like, or messy?
They probably dry it right before they put the stuff on. In one of these pictures, it looks like they have one of those toothpicks holding everything together. But do you guys think pickles don't go good on sandwiches?
No,
I love pickles, but see, here's the unpopular opinion here. I don't eat sandwiches. So, like,
you're just not American.
Okay, but like, I mean, like,
I don't really eat sandwiches either, though.
I eat like wraps and stuff, but like, I never have pickles on that. But like, on my burger, if I eat a burger, I always eat pickles on it. And also, I'm like, Caitlin, I'm also like you that will eat pickles out of a jar. So like, this is cool. But I know a lot of people that don't like them. Like, and they're so good. You guys are both
disgusting. You put it on. You violate the gorgeousness and the respect that a burger deserves, and you put a pickle on it.
How could you not put pickles on a burger, Ben?
It's easy. I look at the pickles, I throw it back at someone, and I'm like, get this out of my face. And I start
but you see how the pickles were already there because they work well?
No, they don't. They're trash.
Here's the thing.
It's usually like like Friendlies is where they give me the pickles. They give me the pickles at like Applebee's. They don't give it to me at gourmet restaurants. They don't give me at the,
yes, they
the
do.
high-end places.
No, I would disagree.
I go to Applebee's and they're like, here's pickles because we need to have a vegetable there.
They don't come for
Okay, wait.
Applebee's.
Let's talk about for a second though that for people that actually like maybe are on like some kind of diet where they can't eat bread or they don't want to eat bread, or maybe they're gluten intolerant and don't want to eat the weird gluten-free bread, they could eat
See, it's a
pickles,
nice
and technically
alternative.
that's like it's a nice alternative. There you
There's
go.
nothing
Yeah.
there.
I would say
I would
it's something
rather
fun to
be
try.
overweight. I would rather be unhealthy. It is
Okay,
pickles.
but Ben,
pickles
not everybody can
violate
take
the-
advantage of that.
What?
Not everybody can take advantage of that. Sometimes people have health issues and they can't actually eat it.
Well, listen, if you do, then don't have pickles. There's so many other the salads are yummy. Like just what? Don't put pickles in those salads either.
I would eat a pickle
Going back
sandwich
in-
over a salad any day.
with a pickle. Ugh. That makes listen. This is so gross. Pickles are just like sadness in their sadness grown from the ground. It's
Well,
just
just from my experience, I know it depends how you grow up with them, and like what I notice what foods you grow up with and you're used to eating, you're gonna go back to. Like for example, I'm Polish, and we always had pickles at home, and we always loved them. And I remember I kind of grew up with them, and I would say it just depends per person. Like I'm not sure did you have a bad experience with pickles when you were younger, or just like you never really liked them. But like I know that there are many people out there who would love to try the sandwich simply because they really like pickles, and yeah, they're full of electrolytes, like they're good like with enzymes, and they're quite healthy, so why not?
yeah. When I look at pickles, I don't think of solidarity, and I have very traumatic experiences with.
So Ben, I'll chime in too. So my cousin does a lot of like graphic design and design work, and she always helps out with this day every fall, and it's pickle day, and it's in the city, and it's like you actually like there's a whole day dedicated to pickles, like literally. So
God.
like it's like they do all like all people from around I guess their country come in and literally do like different things with pickles. Like I think maybe there's like chocolate covered pickles if you really wanted that, or things like
Oh
that.
my gosh!
Whoa.
Talk about ruining chocolate for you.
Oh dear.
I need to go to this event. That sounds so cool.
Talk about a
Okay,
way
you
to
know
ruin.
what?
Sounds interesting.
It's not ruining chocolate, Ben. Okay, you know, we got a lot of
You
different.
violate the beauty that is chocolate, and you put a pickle on it.
Okay, so like, all right, let's break this up. So, Caitlin, you would have the sandwich with pickle on it, correct?
Like,
the pickle-
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Isa, would you?
Yeah, why not? It's something new.
And
Oh,
I would as
boo.
well. So Ben, you're in the minority here.
Exactly.
Listen. Hear me out. What you could have here is a pickle, or you could have any other food on the planet. I will choose most other foods on the planet. The only thing I don't like more than a pickle is a carrot. Then everything I love
What did
vegetables.
carrots do to you?
Oh
So-
my, such a vegetable hater.
Yeah, apparently you just don't like vegetables.
Stop! Don't get me
Ben.
started. I love a lot of vegetables. I love a lot of vegetables. I love tomatoes.
Tomato?
Come on.
Sorry, I'm so used to. All right, sorry. I worked in a restaurant, so I called every food differently. So
If you say tomato, then I say tomato.
like I would call cheese ches, and like I call everything different. So sometimes I mess up. But yeah, I love
Okay.
tomatoes. I'd say are my top favorite vegetables. I love vegetables, but carrots and pickles are awful.
Okay, really
No,
quick, because
check that.
really,
My
wait.
least favorite food is olives. That
Really
is
quick before we move on to the next story. How do you feel about cucumbers?
cucumbers.
I was gonna ask that.
I'll have cucumbers if it's with something else.
You know, cucumber is literally a pickle, right?
No, they're different.
They are pickles.
No, they different. They different.
They're not
Like, it's like
different.
being like, do you like ketchup or do you like a straight up tomato? There's a possibility you could like them differently.
Okay, all right. Well, we're
Oh,
gonna
that's
move-
fair.
we're
You know
gonna-
what? I'll give you that because I
Yeah.
hate ketchup, but I love tomatoes. So
You hate ketchup?
I hate ketchup. I hate the way it smells. I hate the way it looks.
love
It's
ketchup,
just
yeah.
Yeah, that's you see your hatred for ketchup.
I
sounds
can't
familiar?
eat. I can't eat ketchup on like a burger though. Like I need it like with just like French fries or something.
First
like
of all,
that.
let's just give appreciation of how delicious grapes are.
Grapes
most-
are awesome. Grapes are
grapes
awesome.
are the best
Grapes are
healthy
good.
food
At least
in
we
the
can
world.
agree on that.
Like we can all apples never fail.
Wait, what's better though? The red or the green grapes?
Green.
Whatever's crunchier. Honestly, it just depends on the batch.
Green
I love
grapes
a
are
good
superior.
crunchy outside and a nice soft, watery inside. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, if you guys actually ever want to try a cool snack just because, try freezing grapes in the summer and like in the warmer season. Even now, it actually tastes pretty good. It's like almost like a little ice cream.
I have a question because you have a Polish. Did you ever live in Poland, or are you just all USA and just?
Actually, no,
They
all
gave you the
USA.
accent.
But yeah, slightly because I speak a lot in Polish to my family. Like I would say more than 60% of my family is like back there in Poland, and I constantly talk to them in Polish. And I've traveled there over the summer. I've been there once to school for a few weeks, and that was an interesting experience all on its own because it's a little different. But I would say, yeah, I could call myself about 50% Polish, but I never actually lived there for more than 4 months.
Okay, so is there anything that's different with food in Poland? Like, is there like?
Oh dear. A lot more fish, I would say, definitely that, and vegetables. A lot of pickled things. So sauerkraut, unfortunately, pickles. I mean, there's like pickled garlic, like pickled celery, like juices, like all that crazy stuff.
All
and,
that pickles.
Yeah, I would say.
Oh
like,
my
here-
goodness! There's 2 Polish people that are on that like strong are proud to like that like outgoingly say they're Polish. Like there's probably 100 of us, but like that are like heavily Polish, and you just became second because you just said everything pickles in Poland.
Well, yeah, like there's a completely different culture. Like here you see comfort food as like, oh, like a peanut butter sandwich, some mac and cheese, something like that. No, there we have like pierogi, we have like like fish. We have something called tatar, which is like raw ground meat, and I actually tried it. Tastes good. Pickled herring, which is also a fish, tastes good. And this sounds very strange, but when you grow up with things like that, you kind of, I noticed you crave it. And like I would say more Polish. Like I would rather quickly go to Polish food or some strange Polish like pickled combination rather than just like, oh, something American and something like, oh, close, cute, like comfortable. It's interesting when your culture grows up with you and you're like in a different place with a completely different culture, and you could see the differences very easily. But that's a whole other conversation.
Mac and cheese never fails, and I know you crave it. I know you crave mac and cheese.
As much as I would love
flexing that you're done, don't stop it. Mac and cheese is the best food ever. So I don't care what country that you eat from. If you are from any country and there is a bowl of mac and cheese, it's almost ridiculous if you don't choose the macaroni and cheese. If it's cooked perfectly, oh my gosh, it's so yummy.
Well, I'd love to keep talking about food, but we have one more quick story that we really want to talk about real fast before we reach the top of the hour. Caitlin, you found this in AP News, right?
Yeah, okay, so this is interesting to me. It says man proposes using ring stolen from other lover. So pretty much he stole his rings from his ex-girlfriend, and then he got engaged to somebody else, and the girl saw it on social media and reported it because she recognized the ring, and then she realized her ring was missing. And I feel like that's bad luck. Like, why would you use an ex ring?
Never.
No. And what would you do if you were the new person that he got engaged to and you found that out? Like,
you found out, wow, this is from your ex. Cool. Like, let me.
Wow.
Like, we're gonna break up and proceed to keep the ring. So I'm
yeah, that just doesn't make any sense. That is such bad luck though too. I would never use a ring from like I don't know.
I mean,
what's the outcome on this story, Caitlin?
So I mean, well, first of all, the total value of the stolen property was $6,270.
Oh, wow.
So I thought that was wild. He said the guy apparently has an active arrest warrant for a hit and run, so it's not looking good in any.
He's living life on the edge. All right, good to know.
Yeah,
he's the ring thief that just gives them to other girls.
This man is worse of a criminal than the wet bandits are. He's pretty bad at being a criminal. I'm just gonna say. He makes the wet bandits look successful.
Especially with a ring like that, posting on social media, you have to be aware that there's like everyone has access to like what you do and could see what like your experiences, what you've been through, what you are currently doing. So like doing that, it just shows benign neglect of the fact that he like he didn't even put effort to like cover it up or anything. He just kind of shows it like you need to think like 3 steps ahead if you're doing something like this, and if you really want to pull it off appropriately, because people are going to find out.
Yeah, and of course, I agree here at 90.3 WMSC, Upper Montclair, New Jersey. Had to get that top of the hour in there. But yeah, no, I agree. Like, this is just a wild story. I don't know, like, I guess he wanted to save some money. So I guess he was just like, let me just, like, keep that ring and just, you know, bring it to the next person. But like,
Yeah.
also, but like, do people are not aware that everything lives on the internet? I know Issa was just talking about that, like aware on the internet, it lives there forever, and it's really not hard to find out information about people or things. And I don't.
Can I put a question out there? Like, I like to look at every side of the story. So
yes,
I'm gonna put this out there. The ex is who figured this out, right?
Yes.
What you doing looking at your new man getting married, though? I'm just saying, it's like it's a little weird.
I mean, I don't think it's that weird. No, I mean, if you're okay, wait, whoa, if you were
sabotage. Just
I'm sorry, but maybe it's just me. But have any of you guys, like a friend that you were friends with, or like an ex that you were with, you've looked at their profile after the fact that you were not talking to them anymore?
Couldn't tell you what any of my exes were up to. They could literally be in different countries, and I would not know. Couldn't tell you.
I mean, maybe that's just a me thing then, because I know I definitely have looked. I don't do it regularly, but if I'm just interested, I do that with a lot of people. I have no shame. I have no shame.
I think something needs to trigger me.
That's only gonna hurt, though. You gotta just like be like, oh, they didn't exist.
And also, like, I'm still friends with exes online too, so it wouldn't even be hiding.
Never that.
If you like, listen, if you're friends with them, that's fine. If you're not friends with them, like, who cares?
All right, well,
you can do whatever. Like, at least, like, you know, we're not Pete Davidson who has to listen to their album, so I don't really want to.
All right, Ben's gonna start throwing some shade, so maybe we will cap it there and we will stop for today. This was, of course, the Morning Buzz, the Tuesday edition here at 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair. If you're interested in more Buzz content, anything that was talked about today will be on Facebook, and it'll also be on YouTube later today. And also, if you're into more Morning Buzz with other hosts, we are back tomorrow at 8 to 9 a.m. with Tara and Jocelyn. So I've been Amanda Marino, and I've been with my lovely co-host and contributors,
Caitlin Aristizaba
and Issa Winek.
I'm Ben.
Thank you all for tuning in today, and we hope to see you next time.